Survive operates out of York and across North Yorkshire, excluding Rydale and Scarborough. We offer a service to adult survivors of sexual violence, and predominantly they would be female survivors of sexual violence. So we offer support work, we offer counselling, we offer trauma therapy, and we also offer a very specialised service called EMDR, which is for people who present with PTSD-like symptoms. When people come to Survive, they can expect a service that understands what they have been through, that is compassionate and caring, and that is also trauma-informed. So when I talk about having trauma-informed support at Survive, what I mean is we have support workers and counsellors and trauma therapists who really understand trauma and really can show compassion and understanding for what that person has been through. So for example, we might do some work around the psychoeducational side of how people will respond to threat responses. So we will help them understand what their responses were when the incident or incidents happened to them. We know from our experience of over 30 years working with survivors that it can very often take them 10, 20, 30, sometimes 40 or 50 years to come forward and tell somebody about what's happened to them. What we offer is a safe space to talk about their experiences and help them move forward and rebuild their lives. How long we work with individuals will really depend on individual need. Some people will access support work only, some people will access support work followed by counselling, some people will go on and have trauma therapy or EMDR. One of the other services that we can do with survivors that come here is we can help them make informed decisions about whether to report to the police or not to report to the police, or in North Yorkshire to make an anonymous report to the police. Survive's mission is to help adult survivors of sexual violence rebuild their lives, relationships and reach their potential. We support survivors of rape, sexual assault or child sexual abuse. Any adult can access our service via our website, which is survive-northyorks.org.uk, and on there is actually a referral form. Alternatively, they can ask to be referred into our service by the Supporting Victims team. For me, the best part about working at Survive is being surrounded by a team who are all committed and dedicated to working with survivors and helping them rebuild their lives. We know that we can't change what happened to survivors, we can't change the past, but what we can do is we can give them hope for a better future.
I was 7 when I went to visit my friend of my parents. He sexually abused me before offering me some of his wife's jewellery. He then frightened me by saying I would be in real trouble if anyone found out I had been in the bedroom trying on jewellery. He offered to help look after me, and I was sent to his home after school where he abused me daily. He bought me gifts my parents could not afford. I was instructed to be grateful for his kindness. If I protested about going to his house, I was told that I was being rude. I felt ashamed and believed I was bad and naughty. I was 11 years old when he was arrested. I remember coming home from school to a living room full of yellow jackets. Instead of relief that someone had reported him, I blamed myself for causing problems. I developed anorexia and bulimia. At 15, my parents told me I wasn't welcome at home. I began to self-harm and overdoses were frequent. These extreme behaviours were my way of coping emotionally, and my attempt to remove myself from life as I knew it. When I got married, I accepted physical, emotional and financial abuse because my husband also showed me love and attention. I started to drink heavily, and despite doing well at work, I was on a downward spiral. After my divorce, I was full of self-loathing and shame. I drank more and eventually lost my job and was scared my child would be taken into care. After a stint in rehab and 6 months sober, I started counselling for the sake of myself and my 7-year-old son. I was scared at first. I worked with my therapist, and together we found ways for me to open up and allow myself to attach emotions to the things that had happened to me. It was a continual and persistent small steps that started making a difference. My therapy at Survive evoked extreme emotions, but I was taught techniques to care for the little girl I had once been. I learned to understand that my overreaction to things that others would consider trivial was a result of my childhood experiences, and that I could exert some control over them. Survive enabled me to love and care for myself. I can see the damaging patterns that had emerged in my life, and I have made many changes. Knowing my childhood experiences and understanding my limited life experience and resources to cope with them has enabled me to forgive myself as opposed to feeling blame and shame. I am starting to feel whole.
As your Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner for North Yorkshire and York, it is one of my roles to commission services that support women and girls, and counselling service by Survive is one of those, and I am proud of the difference it is making. I will continue to commission services that help you to be safe and feel safe, but if you have been affected by crime and need support, you can always contact our Supporting Victims team at any time.